coil. RO number 37. It's a Texas Star 400. It says it's working. Power wire upgrades. Some resistors look smoked. Make sure the sideband is working properly. Check the meter. Do your thing. Okay, so what that translates to me is we're going to get rid of this junk coax. Get rid of this junk coax. We're going to wash it. We're going to do the power wire upgrades on it. This has got 4 2290s in it. We're going to make sure that all of our meters work, and we're going to check our meter in the front. So, or not our meters, our switches. We're going to make sure our switches work, and we're going to check the meter in the front, make sure that's all running properly. Check our preamp, get all that, make sure that's all good. So, away I go. All right, so we gave it a bath. We replaced the coax, and the reason I was really insistent about replacing the coax is, well, stuff like this. Looking a little rough. This is probably what it came with. This stuff is, well, flammable. It melts underneath any kind of temperature, so. But while I was in here, and after I gave it the bath, I couldn't help but notice, let's flip the amp around. If we look down, and I straightened up stuff, like I straightened these out and cleaned up the caps, cleaned up the solder joints, because this amp has been apart. The input transformer has been shorted to ground, as we can see here. Okay. It's, this thing's been converted to Class C on both sides. Come over here and we'll move the wire out of the way. Instead of this being attached here, it's attached to ground. And the 1.8 ohm resistor has been removed. This box has been burned up is what I'm getting at, and somebody has replaced it and did a shitty job at it. And they converted it for Class C. So it makes sense that if you want to use this thing on sideband, everybody's like, man, you're garbled. It's Class C. So we'll throw some new 1.8 ohmers in there, and we'll reattach everything where it needs to be. And then you'll have sideband bias again. Yay. All right, so when we come back, it'll have bias and we'll have power wires up in it. So this cap's looking pretty scody. It's the wrong freaking value. Somebody's replaced this too. This is a 10 volt electrolytic. 10 volt. How does that even work? Dumb people. Okay. Dumb people. That's all I'm going to say. Dumb people. We're going to go ahead and we're going to crush nut this because, well, these big ass screws are hot, but they're not my style. So, yep. Continuing on. It's like almost I can do this blindfolded at this point. Okay. Power wires are all done. Everything's working. Preamp is working. So let's show you drive. Let's go over here and look at the watt meters here real quick. Simple, easy peasy. 1000 watt in peak, 1000 in average, 5 watt slug and reverse. At 012, 28 watts of drive. Let's come up here at 01212. That's our pass-through tune. Otherwise, the amp's ability to have RF pass through it. Turn the amplifier on at 012. That's on high, of course. At about 550 watts with 28 watts of drive. So now we'll press in our AM button at about 425. Push the sideband button in at about 380. Now we'll put it down with AM and the sideband button, which would be low, at 1212. Okay. So now that you guys can see what I'm doing or what we're doing for power, we'll do it in reverse at 012. So push the AM button in, we'll get rid of sideband delay at 012. Now we'll go up to high. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let's zip up here real quick. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, so now I know my customer here. He's going to have this button in like all the time. This gentleman maybe is a little bit of the Hispanic persuasion, and he likes sideband, let's just say. Primarily a sideband talker. So with that button in, now we're going to switch radios. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're going to hit it with the Derail Striker. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, so let's go up here and take a look at the Striker radio. Let's move so we don't have the glare. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's working perfect. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 audio, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Getting 2 bars on the Striker and about a half a watt worth of reflect here and here, so we're pretty much set. So the only thing I have left that I need to do now is I need to put the crush nuts in here. One here, one here, one here, and one here. Clean the tin, and we're done. Yeah, there was no sideband on this at all. There was no bias whatsoever. But it's all fixed now. Let's check out our meter in the front. Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Yeah, it's a little low. Well, we can either adjust the resistor, or we can put a little bit different capacitor on there. And the resistor is at the right value. So I think I'm just going to leave it. But this is one thing he said that he wanted to have fixed. So I guess we're not going to leave it. I'm going to go in here and we're going to change this resistor that's right in here and see if we can get this to read a little bit better. Okay, we'll be back. I'm kind of curious now what the actual stock resistor value is. Okay, so $26K. Well, we're down to a 15K resistor that's in here. And hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Hello, audio, 1 2. Hello, audio. Now the meter at least moves to full movement. Deflection, I guess, would be the best fancy word to use. Okay, let's put crush nuts in it and let's get on with this. Well, this cleaned up well. Hello, audio, 1 2 1 2. God, I love the incandescent lamps. The friggin' LEDs are too white. They're too white, man. I don't like them. They're bright. I don't know, probably has something to do that I've been looking at the same texture of light bulbs since I was like 12, you know what I mean? But, see, we're down on 12 volts. Hello, 1 2 1 2. We got the peak kit off. Turn the peak kit on. Hello, 1 2 1 2. God, even down on low, this thing is. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. 400 watts or so. Please note, you cannot run a Derail Striker into this without the sideband button on, otherwise you'll burn the box up. That's simple. That's just the way it is. This is a 30 to 40 watt max without the sideband button in. With the sideband button in, you're really kind of pressing your luck. So maybe try to keep it around 80 watts with the sideband button in with the Striker. I'd strongly suggest not running a Striker if you want this to last. Just putting in there for a disclaimer. Okay, I can't work on another Texas Star, y'all. So I just, the last 10 of these have been Striker or Texas Stars. I can't do it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over and go work on a messenger. I had a very, 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 very rare messenger show up here the other day, and I'm going to go work its bugs out. It's only going to take me, I don't know, 5-6 hours to fix all the problems with it. But I want to change amps because the next couple I got coming up after this are, well, Texas Stars. So anyhow, this is RO number 37. We're going to put it in a finished pile, and we're all going to move on with our lives. I want to give a big giant shout out to my Patreons down here. Thank you for coming and joining us. I've had 25, 30 new Patreons this month, which I say thank you to you guys. Thank you for coming and joining us. Yeah, they're the reason that we get to sit here and enjoy ad-free content, even on your phone. Gentlemen, on that note, I'm going to run. I want to say thank you. Big shout out to Siglet, Penta, McMahon, Berg, Coaxial Dynamics, all the ships at sea, and a big thanks to every single one of you. I have an opportunity next month to go be involved in an incredibly large build that I can't wait to document and put out there for people to look at down the road. But I don't want to leave here. I've got other responsibilities. So I'm going to really be jamming here the next couple weeks, specifically the next 3. It's going to be a lot of videos, a lot of repairs, really fast. And I'm going to be trying to take on work towards the end of next month. I normally take it on in September. September is come and gone, and I'm still working on RO repairs. So if I can get to 50 or 60 and make room for storage over here, then I'm going to think about taking on repairs at the end of next month. So you're going to hear me talking about it in every single YouTube video going forward. So on that note, I want to say thank you. Gentlemen, I'm going to run. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you. Click, click.